Fantasy Hockey Pool Update 9 moves you need to make in Week 17. My apologies for having this coming out so late in the week. Today's Wednesday. This usually comes out on Monday. I've had issues with having to go to work and, of course, computer problems as well, which, if you saw my Austin Matthews video, you'll know more about that. And, of course, if you hear some noise in the background, that's because the building is having little construction issues with balconies. My apologies. In any case, who cares? Let's get to the board, shall we? Quick insert here for those of you new to watching this. This is a weekly segment that I do based on columns that I read in The Score, ESPN, Fox, TSN, Sportsnet, etc., etc. Moving on. Number 1, dress players from all teams this week, except for the Calgary Flames. They only play twice. Number 2, stream New York Ranger players. Because Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday are the busiest nights in the NHL with 12, 13, and 14 games respectively on each of those nights. However, the Rangers have four games this week and play on none of those days. There's the buzzsaw. Think of forwards Zuccarello, Hayes, Vesey, defenseman Shattenkirk, and Pionk. And of course, Mike Zibanejad, who's been quietly having an awesome season. More on him later. Number 3, shop Columbus Blue Jackets, Atkinson and Dubois, because they play on a line with the Breadman and who could be traded by February 25th. Now, don't give these players away, meaning Dubois and Atkinson, but if you get a reasonable package, go for it, because Panarin could stay, he could go. It's a gamble to keep those players or to trade them either way because of Panarin's situation. Number 4, trade a Carolina Hurricane, Michael Furland, in banger leagues. The Carolina Hurricanes are very likely to trade him by the 25th, and they have him playing. They've been having him playing on the top lines for most of the season, and that's where he's getting most of his points. So if he goes to a contender, he's more than likely to play more of a depth role, and so you can see his points take a bit of a dive there. Now, there was an article that came out just today saying that it's possible the Hurricanes could trade him or could not trade him and keep him as an own rental, because of they're getting closer and closer to grabbing one of those last playoff spots in the Metro right now. So again, it's sort of similar to the Panarin situation. It's a gamble if you keep him, if it's a gamble if you trade him. Next up, number 5, drop Edmonton Oilers goalie Mikko Koskinen with 3 wins in his last 14 games. It was a Tuesday yesterday in Edmonton played, and Talbot got pulled and Koskinen got slapped in there, and he only saved 6. I want to say like 6 shots on 6. He only stopped 6 pucks on 8 shots. Bruh! What's happening with my brain here? In any case, he's had about an 8.78 save percentage in that time, and in standard leagues, it's better just to stream some backup goalies. Number 6, back to the Breadman. Columbus Blue Jacket Panarin is excelling in the trade circus, but Bobrovsky is not. I know he just got his a win against Colorado yesterday, in which Columbus won that game 6-3 because Colorado just decided not to show up in the third period after going into a tied. But consider moving on from him if the return makes sense. There's been talk about Florida being interested in signing him once it becomes a UFA, or even trading for him like a sign and trade. We'll see what happens there. Again, one of those, if you keep them, a lot of teams are especially more so in the West, are like bubble playoff teams. And so there's construction. So there's a lot of risk involving players on bubble teams who could be traded or not, is what I'm trying to get down to. Number 7, take a flyer on center Pittsburgh Penguin Nick Bjugstad, who they just recently traded for from the Florida Panthers. Speaking of which, because Malkin is basically he's day to day with an upper body injury. But in any case, he was bumped up to the second line center at that point in their last game. But in any case, either way, he could get an opportunity to play with one of their top three, meaning Kessel or Malkin, maybe as a winger, or even Sidney Crosby. So yeah. But in essence, take a flyer on him. Nothing more than that. What are their next few games? Or I think their next game is against Florida, funny enough. And then they have a really hard one, I want to say, against Tampa Bay on Saturday. So yeah, that's a bit dicey, that number 7 there. Number 8, keep an eye on defenseman Justin Schultz of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, he's almost back from the IR, and if you remember, he had a broken leg, so he's been out 4 or 5 months or something like that. But in his only 4 games in the regular season, he had 4 assists before the injury. And him stepping in would really help take some of the offensive pressure off of Letang in that retrospect. So think about it. Last but not least, number 9. Are you done yet? Are you? Can I? There we go. Number 9. Gauge the market on forward New York Ranger Mika Zibanejad. Getting back to this gentleman here, because he's quietly having a point per game season right now. He's hovering on a point per game season. Now, how the reason is stuttering here. The reason is that the Rangers are poised to sell Zuccarello, Hayes, and Zibanejad's numbers could take a hit because of that. So if you can get something good for this guy, do it. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I would love to hear your thoughts. And opinions. And if you like this video, hit that like button. If you really liked it, smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. And hey, if you happen to have any hockey friends, please don't feel shy about sharing. Thanks again. Before they start more construction noises and the drill, I'll bid you adieu. And I'll see you soon.